hood. I want to get a. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. All right, thanks, Rob.
Yeah. I was working on the headlights, the headlight buckets.
Huh.
So let me show you that. So I got that one in.
My goodness.
And
Plastic.
get plastic, and then they got the bezel metal.
The real thing.
Yeah, and it has the retainer also. So it's a whole kit, you know, minus the light bulb, which
And that's the
Yep, that goes right there.
GM.
Yeah, this is like a universal one they bought on the internet, and they actually work quite well. Other than this is kind of some weird shape, so then I'm cutting and grinding to get it to fit.
Right.
This I had to grind it because this was more of a point, so I took off about a 1/4 inch. So now everything kind of fits pretty flush.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can see I got the black marker tracing, and that's kind of where. So right now I'm just kind of fitting it in there and just trimming a little bit, you know, grinding it down and fitting it, you know, to get close because we got some tight edges here, and I don't want to, you know, go through the side of the body or anything. But yep, and this one has the flathead V8.
Yeah, it's a really pretty motor.
Yeah.
Can we open?
Yeah, let me get it for you. I just put these corner pieces in because the hood was dropping down too far. So now it, you know, it keeps it, you know, level to where it has to be.
Good.
I take it those are like threaded adjustable, so you can.
Good.
Yeah, you can.
Oh yeah, I see.
This is the old flathead Ford, and this has a 3-speed on the tree.
Okay.
Yeah, manual 3 on the tree.
There's your cast aluminum dog legs.
Oh, these are the Victress ones?
Yeah.
I just talked about these.
Okay.
Well, it's a good thing Jeff has a set because I'll be needing a set for my C3.
Right.
I was telling Jeff now that I've never seen the hood or the doors with the C3. I've only seen them separately. And now that we moved everything over to put the car together with its parts and pieces, get everything out of storage,
Yep.
it's really apparent why the damage occurred at the front of the hood because of how the hinge setup there was just not sufficient.
Now, this is interesting. Looking at the reinforcing here.
It looks like it had the slide.
Yeah. But that bent, that was probably, could be a piece of thin wall, but we also just got very early on, it was just a welt, a cloth welt about the diameter of my little finger that we just used to lay in and then glassed over.
Right.
I'm gonna look at. Yeah.
Yep. It's a pretty neat piece. And
Now that's. Huh.
I like the way this little ridge, everything is here made.
Okay.
You feel like that ridge on there?
Okay. I think I can tell you what we did here. I introduced Doc to the use of a striker cast cutter, a medical tool.
Right.
The cast cutter had used an aluminum blade about that big around, and it oscillated.
Okay.
So if you were cutting a plaster cast off a patient and made contact, that oscillating blade would just vibrate, would not cut the patient.
Oh, okay, so just going like this.
Yeah.
All right.
So, it also is extremely safe to work with
Right.
versus a rotating blade.
Right, yeah, tear up everything in
So
its way.
what we did, once we bought those, we lay up the body,
Yep.
put this I don't know,
Yep.
probably that diameter,
Right.
and lay it in, and then laminate over it. Okay. Now, then using the cast cutter, we cut the inside here,
Yep.
and then cut the outside here, so that we opened
Yep.
like that.
Kind of interlocked.
So
yeah.
this would be fairly early, 54, 50, yeah, somewhere around the 54 age.
Okay.
Later, we went to the heavy hat section.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah, that's what I'm used to seeing because the C3 hood that I have is just like that.
yeah, you got the big hat section.
Correct.
Yeah. So this would probably be an early 54 body.
Okay.
And when did you switch to that more common design for the wider profile? Because that's a great way to identify some of the older ones versus
Yeah,
the later ones.
I think we made that hat section for the S4, and then adopted it to the S1 and S5, and the C3 and C2.
So
yeah.
maybe 55?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now,
I'm guessing that.
what was this here? Did you have like a piece of insulation or something here? See how this wood is with these
Well,
clips? It looks like they would be pointing, then you would poke through like that insulation board or something.
Maybe just so the heat of the engine bay wasn't
Yeah.
cooking
Right.
you as much.
that doesn't look like anything we would have done. Excuse me. I don't think that's a Victress built firewall.
Okay.
And
Yeah, what about the
wheel
sides
wells?
and the wheel wells?
Let me look at that.
Because both sides are vented, right, Rob? Like what I'm
Right,
seeing
right,
here is
right,
also
right.
on his
Yeah,
side.
we used when we did interiors, we used 3/4 inch plywood.
Yep.
We just get a 4x8 sheet, glass it with 6-ounce cloth on both sides,
Okay.
and then use a jigsaw and cut out the various shapes to,
Right.
to a pattern.
Okay.
So, but we would have used 3/4, and this is only
half.
3/8 or half.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So, and also, I don't think we would have done. I think the firewall would have been vertical
Yeah.
rather than angled.
Yeah, it's like a V shape.
Yeah,
Goes here and then down.
which is you do whatever goes to the design you're using.
Right.
And of course, we didn't use the curved
Right.
Corvette
Right,
windshield. Can you open the doors?
Yeah, that one opens. This one's kind of sticky. Let me,
I'll let you do it.
yeah. Yeah, this slides. It slides back.
Oh, that's
See it?
cute.
So, yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
grease anything up at this point because it'll, it's like your worst enemy for a body, man. Any kind of oil or grease.
Oh,
Yeah, all the fiberglass dust will just run right to it.
yeah. Oh,
Yep.
this is. It looks like a Victress hinge,
Is it cast?
cast aluminum,
Yep.
but there's a slight difference. Huh. There's a slight difference. It's the same shape, but where's Jeff? Jeff? he's had Victress parts cast foundry.
Yeah, reproduction.
And take a look at something for me. This is the same shape as a Victress
Yeah,
hinge,
no, that's your Victress hinge.
but it does. I don't recall the ribbing here.
Let's see.
Yeah.
They may have changed it, but
It's similar to, but not
Right,
identical, at least according to my recollection. Same
no, it's perfect.
geometry, same principle,
Yeah.
same size.
Right.
we have them at home. We can check. It looks identical to a Victress hinge to me.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the
You
same.
have some, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need you to sign them. We need you to sign them.
Do we think this had a roll bar at one point?
Well, I thought I had a roll bar because of the hole. You can see.
Was there a matching one?
No, not
Oh.
that I could find.
You think maybe they had the gas cap that far back? That'd kind of be
Okay.
goofy.
Okay, now you've got Victress hinges back here.
Those are the Victress hinges for the hood and
Yeah,
trunk.
these are pretty neat.
The same we can put in your car.
Right.
Yeah, this is, we wouldn't have done the thinner plywood. We were-
Yeah.
So 3/4 was generally
we used
standard for you guys?
Yeah, that one's really thin. It's like a 3/8.
We told people it was marine, but I don't think it was marine grade.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than what you can get off the shelf now either way, so.
Well, maybe is the ask about the warranty. Maybe it's still in.
Yeah, this is
Oh, yeah.
Warranty, I like that.
The earlier design.
late, could be late 53, but I think
Yeah,
it's
that-
actually
That's your design. That is your cutting. The medical
early
cast.
54.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably all of 54.
Well, actually, that could have been a great marketing tool. There's a warranty depending on mileage because of how many of these didn't get finished. You'd never have any claims.
Like the nickel silver battery company.
Oh, what was their warranty?
Oh yeah, if the lifetime warranty. All you got to do is ship the old battery back. Well, hell, the shipping costs to send the battery back to the factory were prohibitive.
Right.
So nobody ever
Yeah.
wanted a replacement.
Right, right. That's fine.
Yeah, but if you want a nice, safe tool to cut fiberglass, I still recommend the Stryker cast cutter.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Vibrating aluminum blade, they were cool and they didn't get hot.
Right, right. This has a banjo rear end in it.
Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And where are the frame rails? Do they widen out, or are you sitting on top of the frame?
You're sitting on top because this is almost like an X.
Oh, yeah.
But see these angle parts there, and
Yeah.
then they go
Yeah.
right alongside the drive shaft there.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I'm looking forward to with using the other Corvette down or the later years because they don't have the X frame. You're set between and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they drop it down.
Right.
I was looking at the 1950 Pontiac taillights. You know, the round one. So I just have to make like some kind of a pedestal, but I don't know if anything else that would just fit right on there.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you have to
Wasn't
pedestal.
wasn't 48, 49 with a pedestal? Or I have that wrong maybe?
I was looking on eBay yesterday, and you could buy the 4950 lights, you know, with the housing and the lens,
Uh-huh.
and it has a bulb instead, because everything's LED now.
Right.
And it would not look period correct, you know, if you get the real bright, the little dots.
What were you checking for with the taillight openings, Merrill?
Oh,
The thickness?
thickness. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty rigid body. I mean,
Yeah. It was a pretty lightweight body, you know, throughout, but then we doubled up the, you know, around openings and,
Right.
you know, edges to
Right.
stiffen. Have you measured the wheelbase?
No, but I got a tape measure here.
And that's another thing. It's probably 99 inches.
He's loving it, just loving it.
So Merrill, do you think you did the layup on this maybe?
There had a few cracks on it here and there, but
Yeah, your wheels cocked straight.
yeah,
Do you think you might have done the layup on this, Merrill?
Quite possible. Very, very possible.
Well, then it's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why there's so few issues.
99.
Okay,
Right on the money.
good. It's an S1A.
He is a craftsman.
The S1 wheelbase that Doc and Hugh did was 102, same as a Jaguar.
Right.
And then Frank Curtis came out with the 500 kk frame chassis
Okay.
with the cross torsion
Right.
bars at 99 inches.
Yeah.
So Doc modified the wheel well opening.
Yeah.
Just move the opening forward in the rear wheels
Right.
to 99 inches
Okay.
to fit the Curtis chassis. And I think only one car was ever built with a Curtis chassis. But anyway, so it's 99, it's an S1A, which would make it, could be real early, probably any time in 54.
Okay. Very informative.
Yeah,
Does this,
there's a good possibility that I had a hand in laying that up.
That's great.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's a testament to them still being around.
What's that?
I said it's a testament to your work, them still being around.
Yeah, that's
It's-
the wonderful thing about fiberglass.
Well, it's been in an unrestored state longer than it was a finished running and driving car. So the fact that it's still salvageable is really impressive. And of course, Rob's great skill set never hurts.
Yeah. Never hurts anyone.
And Merrill is a craftsman.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything he does is.
So I'm gonna redo this. I'm thinking this is actually pretty good in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I might just put a layup of 6 ounce, to put some new, this out, reform that. Probably do that out of aluminum for the strength and lay cut these boards and lay new boards in there and just glass them.
If you were going to do a one-off restoration, I'd recommend dropping the seating area and the heel rest area.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the way the frame, it comes like right across here.
right.
Yeah, and then it was,
Yeah. You could go with a real low bucket seat,
right.
but that puts, unless you drop your heels, you're winding up with your legs almost straight out,
Right,
which is
right.
not comfortable
Right.
over a long drive.
Right.
But yeah, it's neat to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's every possibility that I help lay this up.
Oh, what fun.
How about that?
Yeah.
Still smells the same with the fiberglass work?
What's that?
Fiberglass work still smells the same, just brings you right back.
Yeah. Always, when I'm working, I crank the big fan up over here. Like when I'm grinding there, I crank the fan as I'm grinding, it's just blowing everything out.
It's good. You don't want to breathe it.
Yeah, exactly. Plus I got all
I
the respirators, everything. But,
yeah, I'm absolutely amazed that I didn't have lung problems.
Right.
Yeah, were you guys? I don't recall seeing any masks on you guys in the photos of you working in the shop. Or
We used, what did we use? Paper. Well, I don't know, we used a mask of some sort.
Oh, did you? Okay, good.
But when we were doing major mods or something that required grinding, I was grinding bare chested, and I just covered with fiberglass dust.
Because you take a bath and don't come out, then you roll over. You just like,
No,
Yeah.
it
Merrill hasn't been
came off.
itchy from anything since 1954. He's immune to being itchy now.
What is
You're
that?
totally immune to any itchiness for the rest of your life, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's. Yeah.
just had the posts on it, but you want to go with the curved windshield.
Okay, so
So this is basically gonna go. Well, this is a Lexan one we had made. This is a '53 Corvette windshield, and it was curved and everything. So all I'm gonna do is, because the Lexan I could cut it, so I'm gonna cut it over here. Get rid of these ears because it'll
yeah.
interfere with the door.
Yeah,
So I'll probably cut it here and just roll it.
you don't want to move the windshield forward.
Yeah, this
Get
is
clear.
right. This is about as far as we got it right here, and splitting it, which will be like the forward cowl section and then the dashboard.
Yeah, Rob had me over here the other day, sitting in here trying to mock it up.
Florida requirements, they don't require this to be glass.
No,
You get-
there's no inspection.
No. Influenced by the bugle fault,
Okay.
the BMW.
Right.
Yeah, had the bugle fault was
Yep.
My-
Kind of reminds me like a
Yeah,
press dress.
38
the
BMW.
pants crease is
Right,
what
right,
it means.
yeah.
But there's no asbestos in here. Now, probably shortly after this was made, we were introduced to using asbestos powder. When you bolt mold sections together like this, you have to seal the crack so air won't get in when you're trying to laminate. You're trying to squeeze all the air out and distribute the resin, and air is coming in through the flanges of the mold.
Right.
So you seal that. Okay, so what we were using at this point was ground up fiberglass, mill fibers,
Okay.
as a thickening agent.
Right.
It made well, the first of all, the mold, wax the mold, bolt the sections together, and then brush in the gel coat. Didn't spray at that
Right.
point. Catalyze resin and brush in it, and just resin. They didn't have special gel coats back then. So
It's
you
basically
just
like a coat of resin.
you just put it brushed on a coat of laminating resin, and then generally we did that before bolting the sections together. So you brush up to here and you brush up to here. You don't want to get it on the flanges, and let it cure overnight. Come in the morning, bolt the thing together, mix up some mill fiber, and brush that in to seal the mold, and then brush the rest of the gel coat on there, and so that's how we did it. Then we were introduced to using asbestos fiber, which is stronger. The asbestos is actually a reinforcing material. We had a customer that built and sold crop dusting hoppers,
Okay.
and he introduced us to using the asbestos. So when you see Jeff's S4 out at Fiberglass Farm, the one that hasn't been built, you've got black all through here, like this, where all the mold joints are.
Right.
Because we use mix up a mix of asbestos powder
Okay.
and like that on, and it was much better than using the milled fiber.
Right. Okay.
So for all of the time that we had Victress, we always used the asbestos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, well, yeah, I think we were still doing that. Later, all of a sudden, everybody got worried about asbestos, and
Yeah.
later on, some years later, I worked for a boat company in the San Fernando Valley, and they brought the asbestos in on pallets. They used so damn much of it. I don't know how they were getting by with it with the EPA, but they're probably paying somebody off.
Yeah. Probably some boat will float up in the middle of the night. Here, unload it.
Yeah. But anyway, so a later body like the S4, you'll find black here.
More information than you really wanted to know.
No, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know if I ever have to go start sanding on Jeff's, I'll have to be really careful around that black.
Well, there's no problem with it as long as you're not grinding it and breathing it in.
Right, yeah, that's the whole thing.
Need some help here, doesn't it?
Yeah, these it basically felt like this.
Yeah.
So I'm just started
Yeah.
leveling everything out here.
Yeah.
And I got a high build primer I'll spray on it.
Spline it with a saw blade.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. This is pretty neat.
Yeah, this is pretty clever. I looked on the internet and I seen that and I said, well, let me give it a shot. That actually
And
worked.
it was, you didn't have to change the shape of it very much?
No, this is just how it came.
Mhm.
And then
Pretty cool.
yep.
You might wind up with that yourself, Mike.
Oh, for my C3?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have Rob send me a link with the part number.
Yeah, those light kits are actually pretty good.
Yeah, and the bezels actually look really nice.
Yeah, because they're chrome, and the the small one for the bulb is chrome or stainless steel.
Yeah. They got a nice heft to them too. They're
it
not.
does. Yep. And it's the
You don't feel like they're gonna fall apart or
takes
bend.
the standard 7-inch bulb, that they made forever, the glass bulb.
I stand here. It looks like this one is angled up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you might want to check.
Right.
Because
Yeah, I might have to take some of the bottom
we,
down a little bit.
you could lay an 8-foot straight edge
Right.
across,
Yep.
and both headlights
Yeah.
there,
Yep.
would be dead flat.
Right.
And this has been modified somehow.
Yeah.
So,
So Merrill, how many pieces came together to form a body? So I see you talking about this being one of the separation points, but I
Yeah,
mean, how
okay.
many pieces comprised a body?
okay, you had the nose mold across here.
Okay, kind of where that line is, where you're
Yes.
seeing.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, the
Makes
nose
sense.
mold, tail mold was similar. The two sides, the hood, and the deck. So,
Yeah, not too complicated.
and that made a shell.
So I've seen a few where the amount of molds they have are like 8, 10, 12 pieces.
Well, sure, because now you'll have a door mold, and a hood mold, and so on. But this is, pretty primitive.
Now, did you guys send them out with the doors cut out, or was that up to whoever was building it?
If they ordered a shell, that's what they got. If they ordered doors, yes, they were hinged and swinging.
Okay, so hence the reason why Victress hinges exist for doors, trunks, and hoods.
Yeah.
So that was an option. So kind of similar to Ladari's 4 options of body, nothing cut out, body with hood, doors, trunk cut out, et cetera, et cetera. You guys kind of had similar
Right.
a la carte menu options.
Right. Now we didn't offer a variety of laminates like Ladari did later.
Okay.
Yeah. because they could. What do they offer? They offered a laminate, one that was done with roving. Anyway, several variations.
And did yours ship in raw fiberglass, or do they have a colored gel coat? Because I know it seems like most of the.
Used colored gel coat. Didn't have them when we were.
I see.
Well, they did later, but we didn't use them.
Well, this must have come into the mix, what, mid to late 50s? Because
Yeah.
the Conquest came out in, what, 56, 57? And I think that's when they started shipping those, I think, in black gel coat.
Yeah.
I think you could have gotten in other colors, too, just as a base for, depending on what color you're going to be painting the car, make things a little bit easier. Interesting. And then you were mentioning the windshield. So what windshields were you guys using?
It was a Jag type.
Jag type, okay.
V shape.
And is that what's, I can't remember, is that kind of what's on Guy's Victress, or is his different?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, similar to, but not what we use. That he fabricated his own.
I see. And as far as grill selection, did you guys ever give folks recommendations for?
No, it was just an opening.
Just an opening, yeah. Do you think Hugh's design intention was to leave it open, or did he expect people to?
He expect anybody to put in any kind of a grill that they wanted in there.
This one's kind of interesting. I'm used to seeing most of them with driving lights or turn signals or what have you right below the headlights, but this one doesn't look like it had them. There's just headlights up front.
Yeah. The the whole concept that Doc and Hugh came up with was to out-jag the Jaguar. So the Jag had a vertical grill. They did a horizontal grill. Jag headlights were inboard. We put them in the fenders.
Now, so we're it's like an updated bulb, and it has the amber signal built in.
Built in, cool.
So that's what we put those on the street rods, because they didn't have all that stuff.
Do they have a similar idea for taillights with a built-in reverse light, or not quite?
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
Jag
actually, I
is
think I
pretty
see-
slab-sided. That's why they went into a real curved side.
Right.
Yeah, they wanted all of the better features of the Jag,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
improving.
it,
Yeah.
right.
And of course, the original was 102-inch wheelbase, like
Right.
XK 120.
So the length of the body between the S1 and S1A is identical. The difference would be the rear wheel arch opening, you said?
Yeah. All they did is just move the opening forward.
I see. Okay.
Also, the S1, Doc and Hugh did the buck in a one-car garage, and at Doc's parents' place, and so the wheel wells were not quite symmetrical on the S1.
That's okay. Ferrari let how many cars go out of their factory with different length doors side to side, right?
Is that right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm paraphrasing, but I think somebody called Ferrari on it once, and he kind of more or less said, well, you can't stand on both sides of the car at once,
Yeah.
which is true. As long as it doesn't look too far off, most people, unless they're really sitting there looking at it or even busting out the tape measure,
Yeah.
probably not going to notice. They're just going to go, wow, what a pretty car.
Okay. So the next time I see this, it'll be in Texas.
Yeah, that's it. Doing laps around the track. Yeah.
Is he going red for this one?
Yep. Red.
What kind of, what color interior?
Saddle.
Well, that'll be nice.
What's your timetable to finish this?
It's gonna be pretty quick here. I should have it all sealed and primered, everything, and by the end of the month.
Wow.
Well, right now I'm just going over any obvious stuff like here, and then I'll put my high build primer on and start blocking it out.
So what do you think, Merrill? If things have been different, Rob was around when you were making these, employee of the month. What do you think? Hire him on?
got a few little
Yeah.
whips here and
Right.
there. Yeah.
I think this is where,
Not bad.
where the
It's not-
glass settled over the years. But,
Yeah, a lot of times where a firewall comes in here, for example,
Yep.
and you put a laminate on each side,
Yep.
and it'll pull the glass down,
Right.
shrinkage. So you wind up with a high spot,
Right.
right along
Yeah, I
the
can
top.
see that here.
And you got that right here.
Well, didn't early Corvettes have a similar thing too, where right in their fender they kind of had a dip? I think for a similar reason. I think that's pretty common on the C1s, from what I understand.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know on the C3s, they would always have probably 3/4 inch or like 6 of them, where they riveted the body to the radiator support,
Huh.
or one of the braces underneath there, and then it would shrink out, and you'd always see them like the size of a quarter, and they go across the front. And actually, if you had that, like at an NCRS show, they would actually say it was acceptable because but first thing you do is fix them when before you paint them.
Yeah, you had a
Right.
mosquito.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just,
Wow. Okay, I think the kids would probably want to go.
Yeah, I think it's nap time.
that's it.